Spencer, it's all yours.
Thank you, Ted.
My pleasure.
The Whack Master, Ted Nugent, in unedited, uncensored, and sitting next to me in the new Townsquare Media media room. And we're going to, basically, Ted doesn't need my permission to say anything he wants.
But I love the fact that we all celebrate it and acknowledge that the First Amendment is indeed a God-given individual right that somebody was smart enough to write down and say, in case some king or tyrant or dictator would question it in the future of 2014. So the First Amendment is sacred, and I salute you for allowing and promoting and celebrating and facilitating and displaying and implementing all the important things that make America special.
Glad to do it, and we're excited about the show tonight. It's going to be a great show.
It's guaranteed to be. Our worst show is amazing. Our worst show is a stone cold, I mean, it really is. My band is so good. You know, I'm 66 years old. I should be much more tired than this. But the intensity, the energy, the piss and vinegar, the sheer passion for our original inspiration, black heroes, the Howlin' Wolf and the Bo Diddley, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, all of my guys, every musician I know was inspired by that musical authority, that emotional, unleashed, uninhibited stream of spiritual, physical consciousness that still inspires every concert, every lick, every song, every night. In 2014, tonight is my 6,515th concert tonight. And I'm going to tell you, Spencer, this year is the greatest tour of my life because of Mick and Greg and Derek and the audiences are absolutely levitating, not just because the music is so powerful and we love it and the guys put their heart and soul into every lick, but the politics of the day, particularly the heartbreaking and inexplicable hate that exists from the other side. There's two sides in America today. On our side are passionate, working hard, playing hard Americans who demand of ourselves the maximum we can do for our fellow man. And sadly, the other side that hates me and is so quick to spew this vitriol, they literally demand something from their fellow Americans. They're not willing to produce and bring quality of life. They're squalling and lying and hating that somehow those of us on the hardworking side owe them. So in a world where the battle cry should be, in my world, in your world, it's earn your own way. Go to bed tired at night because you put your heart and soul into everything you do. That's why this is the greatest tour of my life, because that's what my crew does, my management, our Spirit of the Wild production team, my sons, my daughter, my Zumba goddess, Shemaine, everybody involved with me gets up early, busts their ass to be the best that they can be, and never asks anybody else for something, but demands of us everything we can do for our fellow Americans. So the line drawn in the sand actually inspires hardworking people to perform by example. You whiners and you haters, you might want to take a deep breath and watch how productive Americans operate, how loving Americans, giving, showofsupport.org, operationfinallyhome.org, Freedom's Angels, Canines for Warriors, the Nugent Band, the Nugent crew, my family, everybody I know, we're involved with every military charity there is, every children's charity there is. And so the positive energy of the psyche, spirit, and caring nature of everybody in my world, including Spencer, and this is nothing new to you, but that's why there's so much hate. I think because we're living such a complete, fulfilling American dream, they think they deserve some of ours instead of pursuing their own. So the greatest tour of my life, about to have the greatest hunting season of my life, I almost, not quite, but almost feel a little guilty because I'm much too happy for an old guitar player.
I've seen some of your hunting shows. Love it. By the way, you can check it out on the Outdoor Channel. They've got your show on all the time.
Yeah, Spirit of the Wild has been the #1 viewer's choice for 25 years now. We're very proud. We're very appreciative of that.
It's probably something to do with you.
Well, no, I think it's all Shemaine's fault because I know if I wasn't on the show, I'd tune in to watch her. It's because we don't produce our television show, just like we don't produce our concerts. We play like kids that love the music in a garage with our first loud amp, experimenting with Bo Diddley and Chuck Berry stuff. The Spirit of the Wild is #1 all these years because we don't produce a hunting show. We push the record button and we don't have teleprompters. Nobody writes scripts. And we document the way real, working hard, playing hard American families hunt, fish, trap, celebrate the aim small, miss small, God-given individual right, U.S. constitutionally guaranteed right to keep and bear arms, and how much fun it is, how positive it is, how beneficial it is for saving people's lives and the discipline for children, aim small, miss small, firearms, marksmanship, archery. That's why we're #1, because we don't play games, we don't apologize, we don't have anything to apologize for. We actually just promote and celebrate the perfect truth of tooth, fang, and claw, sustain, yield, nature, and why Thanksgiving is in November. So people love that honesty and that raw, dare I say, spontaneous, natural touch that our show has. And a lot of shows do, but I'm sorry, we're the best at it.
You certainly are. And I want to talk a little bit about, because I know that you try to keep it, you're kind of one of those people that don't believe in talking about politics at all.
Yeah, for a long time I didn't think guitar players actually qualified as we the people. I thought we were some subspecies from Canada. Not knocking Canada. I love my Canadian friends. In fact, I have thousands and thousands of Canadian friends, but you know what I mean? I'm not from someplace else. Canadians don't have a constitution and a Bill of Rights.
It's kind of like well, and now there's, and I've heard this in the media. We're going to get back on my topic in just a second because we're going to chase this rabbit for just a second. But now there's media reports coming out that more Canadians want their rights back. More people in the UK want their rights back.
We had Canadians at the last 4 or 5 concerts, guys I've worked with for 30 years now, when the Canadian government took away their right to keep and bear arms. They spent billions of dollars registering farmers' goose guns. Are you kidding me? Which is exactly what Barack Obama and Eric Holder does when they're not running illegal guns to Mexican drug gangs. But the point is that Canadians, my friends in Belgium, we did a concert in Sweden. I talked to people from Belgium, France, Germany, obviously the United Kingdom and Ireland, Scotland, everywhere in the world. They all have in their soul the self-evident truth that they were created by God to be free people. But they look to America as the last best place because of the unique Constitution and Bill of Rights, because of the unique freedoms that we fought and died for, that we met the enemy, we met the king's men at Concord Bridge when they came to take our guns. And we didn't sit down and negotiate, and we didn't let them infringe. We shot them dead. Because if you are out to force me into unarmed helplessness, you are pure evil. Because murderers and rapists and gangbangers and carjackers and child molesters dream of the day that America will be like Chicago, and a gun-free zone is a welcome mat for the most evil amongst us to do what they want with us, knowing that we're forced into unarmed helplessness. It ain't gonna happen. So that's what these people from all around the world share with me, and they also share something that's very painful. Painful for you and I as Americans, especially as Texans, which we're fighting with all our might to help America become more like Texas. My friends from all those foreign countries that I spoke with, I communicate with them all the time. They are aghast. They are shattered. They literally talk to me like this: Ted, what happened to Americans? How did you let this guy scam you into becoming president? What happened to the rugged individuals? What happened to the experiment in self-government where we the people have an absolute moral obligation to remain engaged, monitor the credentials of people who we vote to work for us because of capabilities, and you let some Chicago gangster scam community activist You let a community organizer become a president who's never held down a job in his life, who doesn't have the credentials to drive my tour bus, and he's the commander-in-chief of America. They say, they literally shake me. They go, what happened? How come your Americans are acting like English people? How come Americans are acting like they're from France? And they're angry because they look to America as a guiding light that maybe they pray someday, maybe we'll have God-given individual, self-evident truth-based rights someday because America shows that it works. And now we've lost the guiding light for our hope in the future because you guys gave it away.
But you've got to get engaged.
And I'm seeing it, and the prognosis is slightly improving. Remember, 6,514 concerts. You know what that represents? Because here we are. What are we doing right now? We're We the People guys, sharing with technology with our fellow We the People guys, especially the most important We the People in the world, Texans. Because Texas is the last best place.
It is, because if Texas goes, I promise you, America will go. The only thing holding this country together, and people can laugh at this, and I don't care if you're from a different part of the country, the only thing holding America together is Texas. If Texas wasn't here, we'd look like California.
The spirit of Texas is what drives my friends in Massachusetts to fight against the infringements, against the criminal abuse of power, taxation without representation. My friends in Illinois, my brother and his family live there, and they go, my God, since 1972, I have to have a firearms owner's identification card to buy pellets for my pellet rifle. And this stops what crime? This saves whose life? They have to have a state-issued authorization to buy ammo, to buy shotguns, to go to just be in a target club in a competition. So my point is 6,514 concerts represents 6,514 meetings, roundtables with good Americans, productive Americans, entrepreneurs, cops, military heroes and their families, teachers, you know, mechanics and welders and dry cleaner operators and hardware store employees and just people who understand they're driven to be an asset. They want to be an asset to their family. They want to be productive. They want to work hard so they can play hard, save for a rainy day, spend frugally, live within their means. Is that still legal? So these meetings have kept me in a deep, deep connected relationship with the best Americans there are. People who are dedicated to be the best that they can be and never expect something they didn't earn. My point being is that in the 60s and 70s, there was a lot of the dopey, and I mean literally hippie, intentional, doped up, not giving a damn. Not only am I not going to participate, but I'm going to try to get something for nothing. And now it has metastasized to a self-inflicted curse with the food stamp scam, the taxation scam. I mean, I could go on. We could stay here for 1,000 hours, but let me summarize it like this. My name is Ted Nugent. I'm just a guitar player. I'm not only called the Motor City Madman, I really am the Motor City Madman. I didn't just write Wang Dang Sweet Poontang, I meant it. So, as I sit here with those credentials, which quite honestly, upon honest review, are rather substantive, as I sit here, Spencer, think about this. This is an indictment to the soullessness of Hillary Clinton, the Department of Defense, the Department of Justice, our President Barack Obama, Attorney General Eric Holder, the entire State Department. I sit here with more security on my belt than our government provided after being begged in emergency alerts, begged for security in one of the most dangerous places, the U.S. Embassy in Benghazi, that the author of Wango Tango, going to the store for milk and bread, has better security on my person than our government provided our fellow Americans in one of the most dangerous places in the world. This is Planet of the Apes, Cuckoo's Nest, Twilight Zone, absurdity, Clockwork Orange, insanity, and our government is guilty as hell. How dare you not provide an overdose of security at all times for our Americans, much less turn down the emergency demands over and over and over again, and then claim, what does it matter that we failed them and they die? You know, I used the term subhuman mongrel not too long ago because I have a reasonable grasp of the English language, and I'm sure in a quick overview, my brain throttled to the far spectrums of phonics and English terminology to come up with an adequate description of a person who would not only fail to provide security, but then turn it down when the firefight started, and tell the heroes of our military not to save our fellow Americans. If you can come up with a better term than subhuman mongrel, be sure you send me a copy of it, because that is not a human being. That is not an American. That is like no other person I have ever dealt with in my life. I'm aware of Charles Manson. I'm aware of thieves and murderers and rapists. I'm aware that people can be evil, but that depth of evil is entrenched in our government is an indictment to the soullessness of Americans who will not engage, monitor, vet, review, and scrutinize those who we put in positions of that kind of power. And we have 4 dead Americans, and what kind of animal would say, what does it matter? If my words offend you, then what do the 4 corpses do to you? The priorities are bizarre. I'm the bad guy for using street slang to identify evil, rotten, treasonous people. But we're not condemning the treasonous people. Bring it on. I must be dead center over the target to take that kind of absurd flack. Bring it on. I'm more than happy to take it, because you're taking my bait. Soulless people support soulless people. Great people support good people. I'm on the right side.
Yeah, you are. And I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here, because it's fun being here, because I know that some people watching this are getting really angry, and that would be called guilt, while other people are going, no kidding. Other people are going, yeah, hello, 1 and 1 does equal 2. Thank you, Mr. Motor City Madman, for reminding us. But ultimately, that's why the music has so much passion. Stranglehold is a love song for independence. All my songs are love songs for rugged individual, entrepreneurial, be the best that you can be, produce to the maximum of your capability every day. In Midland, Texas, would have been a perfect gig anyway, because they're real music lovers, but to do it as a fundraiser for the heroes of the military and show of support, showofsupport.org. How much you want to bet my feet never touch the stage? I promise I will fly throughout the evening.
Motor City Madman, Ted Nugent. Ted, I can't tell you what an honor it is to sit with you here and have you visit with us and share your views to everybody.
Well, you know, thank you for that, but I don't really have any views.
Well,
I'm sharing statistics,
yes,
not even beliefs. None of these are hunches,
Well,
and I appreciate I know what you meant, but I want to make sure we really clarify it. I have expressed no opinions here. I have expressed no views here. I have tsunamied you with indisputable, documented, solidified facts, statistics, and reality. And that's why the left has to unleash their hate on me, because there's not one of them who would dare debate me, because they know I'm right, they know the statistics are irrefutable, and they will lie and hate and lie because they got nothing. And I just want to thank all the hundreds of people that have abandoned your life to dedicate yours to destroying mine, because I'm having the greatest rock and roll tour of my life. I'm having the greatest hunting season of my life. I've got the greatest family you could ever imagine, and if you took away the hunting and the rock and roll, but I like to keep them together, and I'm having the greatest media time of my life. I am on the mountaintop of the American dream because my mom and dad forced me to be the best that I can be, and that hundreds and hundreds of punks don't even have a life because they're now obsessed with mine makes me a much happier man.
Just
because
the Huffington Post.
The Huffington Post, the Southern Poverty Law Center, MoveOn.org, and of course my favorite, something I can't, the Daily Cost, that actually has a website, Hurt Ted Nugent, It's Fun. Well, you're not hurting anybody except you and your family, because everybody's going, where's Johnny? We haven't seen Johnny in a long. He's following Ted Nugent's tour, protesting that Ted Nugent is a draft dodger, which I'm not. I'm none of the things they claim. They're liars. They're Saul Alinsky, Joseph Goebbels, liars and haters. Everything they say is a dirty lie. I'm Ted Nugent, and I have you so much fun, I think I'll turn up the heat. The more you mess with me, the louder I'm gonna get. And anybody that thinks that animals have rights, just for you, numbnut, I'm killing an extra 100 deer this year because I want to feed more food, homeless shelters and soup kitchens. And I didn't really need to shoot an extra 100 deer, but if you think animals have rights, would that be before the barbecue or after? I haven't figured it out yet. If you think animals have rights, I'm shooting more stuff just for you, tofu breath.
Ted Nugent, I could sit here and talk to Ted all day long. And I would advise you to log on, watch his videos, watch Spirit of the Wild on TV, and just, golly, come to any one of his shows, because, like, this is great. This is America stuff.
This is the we the people. This is what we the people are supposed to be demanding accountability from our elected employees. I'm not weird. If you're not doing that, you're weird.
Yeah. Do something. Do something and save the country. Don't sit on your butt and do nothing and then complain about it. If you're not voting, if you're not doing what you need to be doing, it's your fault. So do something and save the country and turn America around. And go see Ted.
Texas is the guiding light. We need to make sure that Greg Abbott is the next governor of Texas, and we make sure that all of our elected officials know that we are all smart enough to know that this attack on Governor Rick Perry is the ultimate political witch hunt scam. The indictment against Rick Perry is indeed the epitome of abuse of power and corruption in our government. God bless Governor Rick Perry, and God bless the next governor of Texas, Attorney General Greg Abbott. Let's keep Texas, Texas, because America and the world is watching us. And what Wendy Davis and Sheila Jackson Lee and all the scammers and liars and haters are doing, they're desperate to turn Texas into California, like they did to Colorado, like they did to my beloved birth state of Michigan, and we can't let it happen here. Keep Texas, Texas. Remember the Alamo.
Yeah. Let Austin be weird. Rest of Texas, be Texas.
Hallelujah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ted Nugent.